Hey, how's it going, everyone? So there was a lot released in the Extra Life live stream, and I wasn't there for all of it, but I was there for a good amount of it. I was there for Armadoggo when Armadoggo was originally announced, but I couldn't be there for everything because graduate school is a thing, and yeah, it is a 24/7 thing, so someone come teach me how to do chi-square test, or come do chi-square test for me, and then I will have more time to make content. But anyway, let's see how many times I have to ramble. We're going to be talking about Armadoggo mostly in this video, but we're also going to talk about something super cool. That's right, we've got a release estimate of Ragnarok, and I am so excited to talk about that. But first, we are talking about Armadoggo because I think Armadoggo is going to be such an interesting inclusion to Extinction. So Armadoggo, it is part of Bob's Tall Tales. It is not a fantastic tame, so you are not going to have to purchase it if you already own Bob's Tall Tales. It will just come with the update when Extinction is released. Now this thing it is basically just opening a whole new chapter into ARK. What it is a companion creature. It is not just your average tame, it is a companion. And they highlighted in the stream that compared to a regular tame, I'm plucking this out of my head. Let's pretend we have a Hyaenodon. Let's pretend we tame a Hyaenodon. You know, it's a regular tame. It's, you know, you whistle it to follow you, it follows you. You whistle it to attack something, it attacks something. You whistle it to stop following you, it follows you. You whistle it to be on passive, neutral, aggressive, attack your target passively. You know, you have that behavior. You whistle it to not obey any future whistles, you know, you got that. But Armadoggo, what it's going to be similar to Cosmo in the fact that it has an attachment that you will get with it. And that attachment is a dog whistle. And you will be able to give it so many more commands beyond what you could give, say, a Hyaenodon. You can give it commands to dig, you can pet it, you can have it roll over, it will do automatic emotes without any commands, and it's just so cool. And the cool thing is that it is a companion, so it will follow you everywhere. Even if you have not whistled it to follow you, it will follow you everywhere you go. And if you get out of render, let's say you're at the top of a building in the sanctuary and it can't get up to the building, well, guess what? It's gonna burrow underground and then pop up right in front of you, kind of like an armadillo, because if you take a look at it, it's half armadillo, half dog. That explains why its back looks like an armadillo, because this thing digs underground. It will burrow underground, which is really cool. And another cool thing about it is if it's in companion mode, a lot of these special traits, they explained on the stream that they only apply in companion mode. If it is switched off of companion mode, these unique traits do not apply. If it's in companion mode, this thing is allegedly going to be immortal, which means it cannot die. And if its health is reduced to 0, normally, let's say you have a Hyaenodon, its health is reduced to 0, it dies. This thing, it burrows underground and does not come back up until it has fully regenerated its health. And when it has fully regenerated its health, it will burrow back up wherever you're at. So let's say it loses all of its health in the desert and you're in the snow biome, say, trying to tame a Managarm or something like that, and it's fully regenerated its health, well, bam, it's going to pop up in the snow biome. And that is pretty dang cool. Now, if it's not in companion mode, yes, it will die. But if it is, it just burrows underground and regenerates its health. I think they said it takes about 1 hour. 1 real world hour. Not 1 ARK hour, but 1 real world hour for its health to regenerate if it has to burrow underground. I have some notes in front of me about it. Let's see. It can act as... These are the ones they've said. One of them is called Set Me Free. So if you were in PvP and taken hostage by another tribe, say you're Bolad or you're placed in handcuffs, if you can command your Armadoggo to do so, it will tear through that bola or tear through those handcuffs and free you. So you can make a getaway, which is pretty cool. Another command is Play Dead, which means it will take 95% damage reduction and attract aggro from other creatures. So if a pack of raptors, or actually let's not say a pack of raptors, let's say 1 Rex is aggroed, if you get it to aggro on Armadoggo, shake aggro off of you and shake it onto Armadoggo, and Armadoggo plays dead, Armadoggo is going to take 95% reduced damage while it is playing dead. It will take the normal amount of damage it's supposed to if it's not, but when it's playing dead, it'll take 95% reduced damage, which will allow you to make a fair getaway, which is pretty dang cool. Another setting is Come Here, which just, as you can imagine, tells Armadoggo to come here. It's just your basic come here command. And then another thing with the Play Dead, turrets and man-made weapons do not apply. So if you attack it with man-made, if it's attacked with turrets or man-made weapons, it will not take that 95% damage reduction. It's only from excuse me, other creatures. And then we have of course the guard dog command, where it will act as a guard dog. And they actually mentioned in the stream that if you are attacked by a large creature, there is a 20 to 25% chance that Armadoggo will bark and instill a fear into that large creature that will scare it away. So if that large creature is a Giga, it can actually scare away a Giga. But smaller creatures, there is a smaller chance that'll happen. So if you're attacked by, say, a Dillo, chances are, I think they said you had a max of 10%, maybe 15%, that it would work on a smaller creature. But your max, I think, for larger creatures is closer to 20 to 25%, which is pretty dang cool. And I don't think it works on other survivors. I think it only works on creatures, and I don't know if it will work on the defense units that spawn in the sanctuary. So that's going to be interesting. The defense units and the enforcers that spawn in the sanctuary. That's going to be kind of interesting. And of course Armadoggo can burrow underground like Perlovia and Fasolasuchus, and all other things that can burrow underground. Basilisk, Reapers. I think those are all the creatures that can burrow underground that come to mind at the moment. I don't know. But another neat thing is they are going to be breedable. So if you tame multiple Armadoggos, you can breed them. They also level up differently than other creatures. What they do is gain experience as their survivor gains experience. So as you, as the player, gain experience, Armadoggo will gain experience as well. They also don't have the best weight, but according to the notes, they can possibly carry artifacts, which is really, really cool. But again, that's a possibility. They have, I think, 12 different types of armor. There's a new item that's going to be added that they will be able to sniff out and lead you to. They're an omnivore, but they prefer to eat meat. And they need to be kept happy. So not really sure what that implies, but yeah. Now I'm gonna switch over to images of the armor. Let's go. There we go. That's the first image of the armor. So it has 12 different packs, or 12 different types of armor you can put on it. Let's see here. Oh, and they also, it's not rideable because it's roughly the size of a hyenodon. So it's not going to be rideable and it can't be a shoulder pet. The taming method is still unknown. That was not discussed during the stream, but getting to the bags. The base bag helps out with weight. That's the one in the top left. We're going from top left to top right, then bottom left to bottom right. The med kit helps out with health. It helps you regenerate health. The extra armor gives you 20% damage reduction, or provides 20% damage reduction. The spikes helps deal extra damage. The meat sack helps with aggro deflection, so you can deflect aggro on you to aggro on Armadoggo, and then have it play dead. And it will still be aggro. There will still be aggro on it, even though it's playing dead, because it still has that meat sack on, which is pretty cool. The speed buff, of course, makes it faster. And let's see here. Let me get the next image on. Here we go. The food basket reduces the spoil timer on anything that's placed in it. The chibi basket will allow Armadoggo to carry 2 chibis on it. The spyglass is kind of like the binoculars, so it'll give you excuse me, sorry, I don't have the best voice today. The spyglass are kind of like the binoculars. They don't give you all the information the binoculars give you. And for any of you who don't know what I'm talking about, binoculars are what you obtain after you defeat the Overseer, I believe at the alpha level. So they give you more than what a spyglass would give you, but not as much as what the binoculars would give you. So I'm assuming it would give you level, sex, and yeah, I'm assuming it would just give you level and sex. It might give you some stats, but I'm not sure. Who knows? It could give you a torpidity level to give you an idea of how much torpor that creature has, so you know how many strength darts you need to knock it out if it's a knockout tame you're going for. You know, who knows? That'd be helpful. They also mentioned that Armadoggo is not a fighter before we move on to the sleeping bag. This thing is not going to be for boss fights at all. They did mention that. They said this thing looks like it's overpowered, but it's not going to be overpowered. It is going to be completely... It's not going to be good in a boss fight. But the rolled sleeping bag helps insulate survivors, and it also allows you to teleport, like as you would teleport using sleeping bags or beds. The ammo box gives you weight reduction on ammunition, and then the oxygen tank acts like a scuba tank, gives you limited oxygen, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty much it for Armadoggo. That's all the info I could obtain on Armadoggo, but the next cool thing about Armadoggo, or about the news that we received, is something I have been waiting a long time to hear. A Ragnarok update. Ragnarok's estimated release is going to be in March of 2025. That's a little ways off, but you know what? I don't care, because I have been waiting so long for some more custom DLCs. Because here's the thing, for those of you who are new to the channel, don't know me very well, don't know which maps I like, Extinction, in my opinion, is where the good story maps end. In my opinion, I think Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 were failures. That's just me. I'm not a fan of those two maps, even though I will still play them. Just for the sake of my playthrough series, I'm just not a fan of Genesis. I really enjoyed the island through Extinction, and then for me, that's when the game actually ends and we move on to just in my opinion is a knockoff. But the custom DLCs, I think those are what saved the game, because in my opinion, Genesis 1, Genesis 2 were failures. Ragnarok was, in my opinion, the first big success when it came to custom DLCs, because here's the thing, the center is not my favorite map. In my opinion, it is probably the worst of the custom DLCs. It's not the worst map in the game, but is the worst of the custom DLCs, because it's essentially the island just slightly bigger. And now that it has a custom creature, like, that's cool, but in my opinion, the Shastasaurus was a flop, because the whole saddle thing, you know, they didn't make two types of saddles, like, in my opinion, they should have, but whatever. So yeah, I am really, really looking forward to seeing Ragnarok. And I couldn't find a picture of it, but the giant bison that was entered in the community vote apparently is going to be released as the new creature for Ragnarok, because Ragnarok's creature was originally supposed to be the Gigantoraptor, but then they decided they were going to release it to the center, and then they decided, when the center was delayed, to make up for it by releasing it on the island. And then later on, they decided to create an aberrant variant of the Gigantoraptor. So, with that being said, the giant bison, excuse me, and Ragnarok next March, I'm really looking forward to that. Because I think, in my opinion, that's a good route to take. They also said Valguero is coming as well. I know they're putting some more work into Astraeus, so I don't know if that's going to be... if it's just going to stay a premium mod, or if it's actually going to end up being included as a custom DLC. I think, in my opinion, so far, Astraeus is a good map, but it's not what it could be. But again, they're still working on it, so, you know, Astraeus could turn into something really, really wicked, awesome, and amazing. But I think if they do include something new, past that's beyond Fjordur, I think it should be either Svartalheim or Astraeus. Svartalheim, I really enjoy doing my Svartalheim miniseries at the end of my ASE playthrough. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, Ragnarok is coming. After that, we're getting Valgero, which is awesome. The fact that they are doing Valgero before Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, if that's the case, which I'm hoping it is, that would be amazing. I know a lot of people are looking forward to Genesis 1, Genesis 2, but here's the thing. If you want to play minigames, go to Club ARK. There are minigames on Club ARK now, so I think Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 can wait. I think they should focus on the custom DLCs next. So, Ragnarok, Valgero, and then if for some reason they decide to include Svartalheim or Astraeus, that would be kind of cool too. I wouldn't mind seeing those maps being included. Of course, they're free, so you're not going to be paying the $10 you normally would for the premium. I don't think I'm going to be buying the premium Astraeus. I don't think I will, but you know, you never know. Yeah, but that's pretty much all I have to say. I know I rambled a lot. But yeah, we just had a lot to cover with Armadoggo and then the exciting Ragnarok reveal. I am so excited to finally hear something about Ragnarok and stop hearing stuff about the main stories. So I was like, if they start talking Genesis after Extinction, I am going to be so mad. But no, they started talking about Ragnarok after Extinction, and now I am so happy. And even Valgero as well, so I'm even happier. Valgero's not my favorite map, but it beats Genesis 1, Genesis 2 by a long shot. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped answer some of the questions, because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I probably did. If you like this video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.